Windows laptops look like they are off to kind of a slow start with that Intel 11th gen processor. However, the AMD Ryzen 9 series it's very exciting. And out of CES 2021, there were a few laptops and a few brands that I was really looking forward to, bringing us to the Asus, however you say it. The ROG Strix 17 has a Ryzen 5900 chip and an RTX 3000 series graphics card. So what comes in the box, and is it any good? Let's find out. Oh, that is a beast. What's up, everyone? I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. So enough talking. I'm super excited about this. You've heard me say this before. Windows laptops have gotten kind of boring, especially as the M1 MacBooks are killing. They are killing the laptop market. So the only bright side that I see in the future for a Windows-based machine, unless you're only going to be using it for gaming, are these new AMD chips and these new RTX cards. They're very exciting stuff. And this was the soonest one that I could buy to get here. Like, I bought this the second it was up for pre-order and couldn't do anything about it. Nobody provided this to me. I bought this myself. So what comes in the box? Here we go. Okay. Box is kinda, the box is fun. There we go. All right. Don't hit the microphone, Gary. But we gotta make it dramatic. So don't hit the microphone dramatic. I think I did end up hitting the microphone. Okay, so this is a 17-inch gaming laptop, so this is going to be a big beast, and we'll get to that in just a second. What else do we get in the box? We get warranty card. That's an awful lot of space for just like a little bit of paperwork. It's kind of weird. What do we get back here? Nothing. Nothing over here. And the power brick, which is, it's big, but like, did we need all of this packaging for like this? This feels kind of like a waste to me. It feels kind of like a waste because there's no stickers, there's no cool stuff. Like at least Razer, when you buy it, they give you some cool stickers and documentation, but there's just nothing in here. Okay, enough complaining about the packaging material. Okay, what do we get? Asus Elite Rewards, Asus, however you say it. We'll say it ROG, Republic of Gamers. You are covered. Well, thank you, ROG. ROG Strix. Okay, the charging my notebook PC, thank you for telling me that. I/O and ports, which is one of the most important parts of one of these laptops for me. In search of incredible warranty card. Sure, I don't know that I call warranty cards incredible, but that's just me. Other people have different opinions on that. Okay, we've got the charging cable. This is a 240 watt adapter, which is, you're gonna need a lot of power for this machine. And the reason, so you might be asking yourself, Gary, you're all about productivity and working and video editing. Why get a big honking beast of a gaming laptop? Well, one, I do a lot of gaming. My son and I are working our way through all sorts of games in my office. Over here, I point to my office. And I currently use a Ryzen custom PC build that I made. You see the video here on the channel. But besides that, I also look for machines that can do everything. Since I'm working from home as much as I am, small and light laptops don't really do that much for me right now. And something that is important is I do big, long travel trips where I can drive or I can pack a lot. I did that last year too. I did that over a year ago where I was gone from home for like 3 months. And I will bring a bigger machine with me if I can get away with it. And if it means, hold on, let's get this out so you don't have to, it's so heavy. That I can bring less stuff because portability doesn't only mean the laptop is smaller. This thing feels good. That is a phenomenal, it is plastic. Can you hear that? It is plastic, but it's not like bad plastic. If you remember the Dell G5 Special Edition gaming laptop we unboxed 6 or 7 months ago, that thing was all plastic, but it felt like garbage. It feels really good. Wow. I like this matte, like brushed metal top finish. I'm not as sold on this big thing back here, but we'll see how that works. What's on the bottom? Looks like we've got plenty of ventilation. We'll open this up in just a second. That's what this is for. I like that it's got little rubber feet here, so the laptop's not gonna move when it's sitting down. Let's check out the I/O. Nothing on this side. Oop. We got 2 USB-A headphone. Oh, and I like this, that it's on the back, because if I'm gonna have it plugged into my dock, or I'm gonna have it plugged in at my desk, I like that these are coming out the back. So we got the power, Ethernet, HDMI, USB-C with pass-through power, which is very nice, and another USB-A. Now, would I like to have seen an SD card slot on here? Yes, but again, it's not marketed as a productivity machine. You're kind of gonna have to cobble all that together if you want to from there, which isn't that big of a deal. There are dongles and adapters. But if you're not somebody that pays attention to computer technology, Thunderbolt, like Thunderbolt 3 that you find on most laptops, that's an Intel and Apple technology. There are some computers and there are some machines that can have a workaround called Titan Bridge that'll work on Ryzen chips. I'm not sure, and I do not believe this is the case. So if you're going to buy a Ryzen processor and you have mostly Thunderbolt accessories, just be careful of that. All right, ready? Let's open this sucker up. That was nice. Man, that was smooth. I thought that was gonna be very difficult because of how big and heavy this laptop is, but no, that felt phenomenal. That is easy. That is easy one-handed. I know, okay, I'm a laptop nerd. I get nerdy about like the logistics and the not exciting stuff, but that's impressive. That might be the best feeling opening of a laptop I've ever felt. So with this display, here, there we go. With this display, it is a 300, you can't even see me anymore, it's so big. This is a 1080p, 300 hertz refresh rate monitor. I'm not sure that I will be using the monitor that much in my life with the laptop. It'll probably be plugged into something. There is some flex, but it's not terrible. This feels good. It's matte gray, which you know I love matte gray because I'm a boring dad. But I'm not seeing any fingerprints, which is a big problem of mine with the Razer laptops. But though, is it like... It looks like it's already, I can't tell if it's like dented or bent or if it's supposed to be that way, but it's kind of like, what is it, concave? It's got a concave kind of slope to it where everything slopes down into the keyboard. Oh, those keys feel good. It's got a full number pad, function keys, trackpad. Feels kind of loose. Okay, so maybe it does have I mean, this is clearly a plastic top. There's some significant flex to this like faceplate of the laptop. And you can kind of feel it even more so when you're like trying to push on the trackpad where you can get a click anywhere. I don't know, I don't like the trackpad that much. But I do really like these keys. These keys feel, hey Gary, these keys feel pretty darn good. They're nice and spaced out, they're not overly spaced out. This is the speakers back here. This doesn't have what is turning into the standard of the top firing speakers here. 8 cores, overclocked 5000 series Ryzen processor. You can see AMD and NVIDIA. Nice to see that AMD also puts the dorky stickers on their computers. So, hey, it's not just Intel that puts the dorky i9 or i7 stickers on there. Ryzen does the same thing. Wi-Fi 6. All right, before we turn this thing on, let's actually crack it open underneath and see what kind of upgradability we've got here. For those who dare, back on top. Why back on top, but you're on the bottom? Maybe I'm not understanding your messaging, ROG. I like that. Okay. Ooh, and we've got standard. We've got standard just little screws here, which makes me happy. We don't need any kind of specialized tool to unscrew this. Nice little screwdriver. I am hoping that there's a lot of space for upgrading down here. If I do know from the website, it did say that it will only take up to 32 gigabytes of RAM, which kind of sucks, but again, it's a gaming laptop. It's not necessarily a multimedia video editing machine. However, with the kind of horsepower on this, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to do video editing on this thing. If these new Ryzen processors and RTX are as powerful as I think they're gonna be, this will probably be my new Windows video editing machine because I am actually excited to get rid of that custom-built desktop. It's not that I don't like having a custom-built desktop, it just takes up too much space on my desk. And when I take it off the desk and put it on the floor, I get angry comments from custom PC enthusiasts who tell me that it should not be on the floor. So these screws are so much nicer than other screws that I have taken off the bottom of laptops before. Okay, so, oh, there we go. There we go, okay, there she goes. That was much easier. What is this? Well, that probably wasn't supposed to come off. All right, that came out of here. All right, so just be careful if you're taking this off. It's got what looks like RGB things that almost immediately come off. So we'll have to make sure we reattach that. That is unplugged. We'll need to remember to plug that back in. So here is what we got on the bottom of the ROG Strix G17. So we do have upgradable RAM, it looks like. Here's another M.2 drive. Here's the initial drive, which is a 1 terabyte drive to start off with. The 90 watt-hour battery, which is, I mean, that's pretty big. You can only get a 100 watt-hour battery on an airplane, so that's good. Cooling system, I'm not as excited to see. I would hope for such a big laptop, maybe to have a vapor chamber, especially because this wasn't necessarily cheap. This was an $1,800 laptop, so I would have liked to have seen a little bit beefier cooling system. I assume these are going to be the bane of mine when we start actually using this, because it is probably going to be very loud. But everything else looks really good. We haven't gotten a chance to open up the bottom of a laptop in a while, and this is my favorite. I love the technology and the engineering that goes into making these. I'm a dork for this stuff. But yeah, it looks like we can upgrade the RAM. Looks like we can upgrade the storage. We will probably, I don't see this soldered on, normally the Wi-Fi chips. We do have Wi-Fi 6 on here. I'm not seeing an easily replaceable Wi-Fi card, so we'll just have to leave that as it is, but maybe we will do an upgrading video. If you would like to see an upgrading video, please leave me a comment down below. So let's plug these back in. I probably set off some kind of anti-return policy by doing that, which is just weird. Like, why is this? There's nothing here to plug into. I don't understand why these chips are here. Probably to say, hey, you opened it up. Whatevs, let's put this back on and let's turn this laptop on and see the power of the brand new processors. Okay, let's plug this sucker in and turn it on. Okay. Whew. Man, I like the I/O in the back way more than I thought it would. I've never had a laptop that actually does that, but that just makes so much sense. I mean, okay, it makes so much sense for a big laptop. It makes less sense for like a MacBook or something like that. It's so small, it's so hard to get ports on them. But for a laptop like this, a gaming laptop, I think this makes an awful lot of sense. So let's turn this guy on. Ooh, that was pretty fancy. RGB, so unplugging that thing was not RGB. I guarantee that was a sensor saying, hey, this laptop's been opened. Oh well. I do like that. I like that a lot, actually. Okay, yes, let's continue in selected language. Wow, you can tell this is a 300 hertz panel.
Hi there. I'm Cortana, and I'm here to help.
You keep talking, Cortana. Don't let me interrupt you. We're just making a video here. We're here waiting for you. But you're not going to be able to see it. I'm sorry. I'm shooting in 30 frames per second, so you will physically not be able to see this. That 300 hertz refresh rate. Wow. And I thought the 144 hertz refresh rate from the Razer Blade 15 that I've got was impressive. That is fast. That is so smooth. I'm very excited to play some games on this. My son and I have been playing Deep Rock Galactic, which is probably the best co-op player game I've ever played. I'm excited for that. Let's connect to ye olde, the Everyday Dad Network. If I can remember what the password is. Did I? Good. You know, your home Wi-Fi is a lot like my Apple ID in that I never use it, so I always forget the password until I need it. And then I have to reset the password because I never remember it. That's not just me, right? That's everybody. That's probably a me thing. Okay, so it is setting itself up. I'm not a big fan of the trackpad. It is kind of loose clicking on it. It's not bad. Windows laptops, I don't know, I'm not yet sold on the trackpad. It's not bad as far as Windows laptops go. Being an Apple fan, I primarily use Apple computers. They have trackpads on lock, so it's always hard to go to another brand's trackpads because they're just never as good. So I gotta cut it a little bit of slack. No, I don't want my Android phone. I don't have an Android phone. You're trying to get me to slip up here on the video Windows computer. Not gonna happen today, even with your 8 overclocked cores. Okay, so as Cortana finishes setting up this computer, I do like the build quality. The only thing I don't like about the build quality is the concave. It's convex. Convex is that, concave is that. I don't like how it folds in. I just kind of wish it was flat, because what this is gonna do is it's gonna do this weird thing with my wrists, so my wrist is already coming up to get onto the laptop body, then the computer itself is going down. I feel like that's gonna add some strain if I wanna type. So if I want a nice, natural, neutral typing experience, I'm not sure that I'm gonna get it here. So I'll probably, if this is set up, it'll need to be plugged into an external keyboard. I like the keys, I just don't like this face design. I also like that the face design is not smudging. Can you see that? We've been handling this computer for 20 minutes now, and I don't see a single fingerprint, which is a huge win for me. I like these hinges, I like the computer, I like the top. The computer's doing a lot right for me, but it's also doing a little bit wrong. We'll see how the performance is maybe in a future video. Today we're just gonna do the initial impressions, see how everything boots up, how well it is to set up. I like these keys. I really like the RGB on these keys. It's nice and subtle. I feel like, oh look, it already, you know me too well, Windows. You know me too well, Windows. You have the Big Sur. No, stop. Edge, nobody likes you. Edge, I'm sorry. I wish you were the cooler kid, but nobody likes you. But you see, it's got my Mac OS Big Sur background on there. Windows knows me. We're like this. I like the RGB on the keys. It's pretty subtle. It's not like that. If you've ever made videos or something, you know, overexposed where it's like frayed and hot. These do not feel frayed and hot. They feel very good. I like how they look. We've got the Ryzen 5900 HX, 8 cores, 16 threads. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait. We've got 16 gigabytes of RAM, and we'll probably upgrade that in the future. 16 gigabytes of RAM, not exactly what I would prefer, but if we have to use it, you know, we'll use it for the first couple of videos. 883 gigabytes of free space. Of course, when you get a 1 terabyte drive, you're never really getting that 1 terabyte. There's always a little left over, and they've got to get the operating system on here. So initial impressions of this machine, I do like the build quality for a big gaming laptop. It's bigger than I thought it would be, but it's not unbearable. Most things feel good. Again, you're gonna be buying this to be like a spec box for the graphics card and the processor, both of which look phenomenal. We'll make some more videos on that. Initial impressions are, I'm very impressed. I like the build quality, I like the screen, I like the I/O. I really like a lot about this laptop, and I'm very excited to check more of this out in the future. But what are some things that you would like to see out of the Asus ROG Strix 17. Leave me a comment below and we will make some additional videos on this machine because I am super excited about this and some of the new lineup coming out here pretty soon. And if you like this video and you would like to see a little bit more about my feelings on Windows versus Mac, here's a link to my video of the MacBook Pro 13 versus the Razer Blade Stealth 13. And in that video, we'll talk more about my feelings about Windows versus Mac. If you're curious about that, you can find it by clicking right here. Click, 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 click. Thanks for watching.